Hello writers! Today we will practice deciding if a sentence is asking or telling. Then we will use the correct end mark, either a question mark or a period. So I want you to find someone around you and tell them how we end a telling sentence. Once you do that, I want you to tell that same person how do we end an asking sentence. So we have learned a lot about sentences these past few days. Today we are going to think about how we know the difference between a telling sentence and an asking sentence. So let's review our anchor chart. First, we have the telling sentences. So we know that telling sentences have a who and a what. They tell a complete idea, they begin with the capital letter, and we end with the period. So the sentence that we had here was Sam has a cat. Sam is our who because it's who we are talking about. And our what is has a cat because it's telling us what is happening in the sentence. Now let's review our asking sentences. So asking sentences ask about something or someone. They begin with the capital letter and they end with the question mark. So here we have who will win the race. So it's asking about someone because it's asking who will win, either the little girl or the little boy. We also have a capital letter starting our sentence, and we have a question mark to end our sentence. So today we're going to compare and contrast the characteristics of telling and asking sentences. Telling and asking sentences both begin with the capital letter. So, since that is something that they have in common, we're going to write that in our middle section right here. So, I'm going to write it sideways. They begin with a capital letter. However, they are very different. A telling sentence tells a complete idea. So we're going to write that down where it says telling. So it tells a complete idea. An asking sentence asks about someone or something. So ask about someone or something. With an asking sentence, we can give a response. For example, if I ask, which apple do you like best? You can respond by telling me that you like the red one best. If I told you I like the red apple best, am I asking you to respond or to answer me? No. So, one of the biggest differences between an asking sentence and a telling sentence is how we end the sentence. A telling sentence ends with the period. So it ends with a period, and that looks like that little dot. And an asking sentence ends with the question mark. The question mark, and that looks like that. So let us practice adding the correct end marks by deciding if it's a telling sentence or an asking sentence. So if I say, my dad has a red hat, are we asking if my dad has a red hat, or are we saying that or telling that my dad has a red hat? So we already know who we're talking about and what is happening in the sentence. My dad, he has a red hat. So that will be a telling sentence. So we would end our sentence with the period, just a little dot. Now, for this one, where is my green bike? We know that we are asking, we are waiting for a response or an answer. So, we are going to add a question mark, which is this one, because we are asking something. We want to know something. So now, I'm going to say a sentence, and you are going to decide whether if it's a telling sentence or an asking sentence. And I want you to tell someone around you what you think it is. So our sentence is Nick on his bike? So I'm going to write that one down. Is Nick on his bike? So what will be our end mark? Are we asking something or are we telling someone something? So take a few moments to think about it and tell someone around you what your answer is. So if you said a question mark, you are correct. It is a question. So if you said it was a question, you're correct. It is an asking sentence or a question because we are asking about the bike. We don't know if Nick is on his bike, so we want to know. So we're waiting for an answer. So it's a question. Boys and girls, today whenever you write, you will practice deciding if a sentence is asking or telling. Then you will add a period or a question mark at the end. Remember to use our anchor charts to check for all the parts in your sentences.